Hey there, Marie. I heard that you and my brother finally found a place where you both want to move into. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess you've already heard the big news then. But Randy and I were going to be moving into our new house next month. Isn't that exciting? We hope that you and all your family can come and visit us there as soon as we have everything unpacked and cleaned up.
Oh, we'd just love to do that, but I heard that your new house is going to be pretty far from Randy's work. Is that true?
Yeah, it is going to be just a little far for Randy, unfortunately. But it's just such a good house that neither of us were considering not snatching it up when we saw it. It's only a few years old and also seems perfect for us since we have pets.
I see. Well, I really am glad that you two are so pleased with what you found then. That's great news. I guess that means that you didn't like the houses that I sent over as suggestions when you were still looking?
Well, Randy was the one who was looking into the houses that you sent. But then he started looking into the neighborhoods they were located in, and they didn't seem so great. And I guess I'm just a bit of a scaredy cat, so I asked that we live somewhere else. But thank you so much for wanting to help us with our search. It really did mean a lot that you wanted to give us a hand.
No, I am so sorry that I didn't do better research and just sent you what I thought looked nice and in your price range. I didn't bother to do any further reading about the neighborhoods or schools or anything like that.
Well, it really isn't a problem at all now that we found the new house that we're going to live in. I'm just so happy that the search is finally over and we found the place that we want to live.
Speaking of, I guess this means that you two are going to have to really start nailing down those wedding plans then, right? I heard through the grapevine that you were having some trouble finding a venue for the wedding, though.
Yeah, we were having a bit of trouble, but we finally managed to find a spot and put in reservations.
Oh, really? So then you two did end up finding a spot to have your wedding as well?
Well, you remember that one spot that I was talking to you about the last time that we met up, don't you?
I remember you telling me that more than any other place in the world, you wanted to get married there.
Exactly, that place.
But you also told me that it was really, really popular and might be impossible to ever get a reservation in on time.
I know, and I really did think that it was going to be too difficult to do that. But I just didn't give up. I called them a couple times a week to ask about any cancellations, and then finally a space opened up.
So then you basically just kept hounding them until there was an availability?
I mean, basically. But you have to be persistent if you want a reservation at this place. So, one day, I called them and they said there were some open dates right around when we were wanting to get married. So I booked a day right away.
Wow, well, good for you. It sounds like things are really starting to come together for you and Randy then, aren't they?
I sure hope so. I mean, these all seem like good signs to me. But man, it has been so difficult trying to nail everything down. I mean, it's been a while since I felt like I was fighting this hard for bookings and open houses and all these stuff.
I see. Well, you know that you can always ask me for a little help if you need it. I'm more than willing to give a hand if you need it.
Thank you so much. I mean, you really don't know how much it means to have someone that I can talk to about all of this. And since you offered, I really just might end up taking you up on that. I really am glad that I have such a great sister-in-law like you that I can always count on. Thanks again for everything.
Oh, don't make me blush. You know that I'm just happy to be there for you when you need me. Just let me know if there's anything else you might need. By the way, does that mean that you've officially booked and paid for the wedding venue? I assume so, since you were so set on getting a date there.
I'm actually going to call them in a week to try and finalize everything. I didn't have all the money I would need to make the booking when I made the reservation a week ago.
I see. Well, yeah, that sounds like you still might have a lot on your plate for the time being, then. Maybe best to get back home and think all of this through so it all goes along smoothly. I had one friend who just kind of rushed their wedding plans without stepping back to think about the wider picture and the larger plan, and they ended up with a very expensive ceremony that they were only okay with.
Oh, I see. Well, that is a good point then. I don't want to dig myself into a hole that I won't be able to get out of. You're right. I guess there is still quite a bit that I need to think about. But I'm really glad that you came to me so that I could talk to you about all of this.
Of course, it's my pleasure. I know that there are probably a million things going on inside of your head right now, so it can be hard to keep everything straight. But for now, you've gotten your dream wedding venue booked, and that's a huge check on your to-do list. By the way, is it really true that your wedding day is the same day you and Randy had your first date?
Yes, it is true. But that isn't actually why we chose to go with that date. It just so happened that our schedules happened to match up around that time of year, and then that day happened to be free.
I see, but then again, it would be kind of hard not to go with a date like that, right? I mean, it's just too perfect if you ask me.
I mean, you're very right there. I'd be lying if I said that we didn't know what we were doing at all.
That's great. Well, anyways, my boss is calling me into his office right now, so I think I have to go.
Oh, yes, I guess lunch is almost over, isn't it? I guess I should probably start getting things ready as well.
Of course. So sorry for taking up your lunch break talking about this.
It was no bother at all. I really enjoyed catching up with you and getting to talk about all of this. Thank you for listening and for offering so much helpful advice.
It's my pleasure. I guess we'll talk later then. Have a good day.
Hey Hilda, are you there? Do you have a second to talk? I was just wondering if I could talk to you about something really quick.
Yeah, sure. What's up? Did you have another wedding question or something?
Well, the thing is that my reservation at that venue I was talking to you about got canceled.
Oh, really? You mean you got a call from there saying that your reservation was gone or something?
Hilda, I am going to ask you straight, so please don't play dumb with me. Were you the one who canceled it?
What? What do you mean by that? I'm sure I have no idea at all what you're talking about. How could you just accuse me of something like that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm shocked that you would even say something like that.
I think the one who is most shocked here is me. I mean, how could you do this to me? When I called them and they said the reservations had been canceled, I asked what phone number they got a call from to do that. And they gave me your phone number, Hilda.
Wait, what? The staff members actually gave you my phone number? What is the matter with them? Don't they know anything about privacy laws? They can't just hand out my personal information like that.
Well, I asked them to help me confirm how many reservations were canceled without my knowing. They gave me your number because it was attached to my file that they had on hand. Thankfully, I won't have to pay any kind of cancellation fee for what you've done. But I can't believe that you would do this to me.
But what other choice did I have? I can't just have you marrying my brother, you know.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I don't get it.
I mean that you really think you're good enough to be with someone as cool and smart and handsome as Randy? You're just a fat, ugly nobody. You were never ever going to be accepted into this family. I guess you haven't figured this out yet, but Randy basically only dates fat, ugly girls like you to make himself feel better.
No, that can't be right. You're lying to me.
You really think that me, his sister, who has seen every girl Randy has brought home, is lying to you about this? No, it's the truth. You never stood a chance of actually joining our family, so you might as well just cancel your engagement with Randy right now.
But I can't do that.
So you mean to tell me that even though you know your fiancé's sister is against your marriage, you're still going to try and go through with it? You really are a troublesome woman, do you know that? Honestly, I would be impressed if it wasn't so obnoxious.
You know, I've always felt that way. Like I wasn't good enough to be with Randy. I never could see what he saw in me. But the fact of that matter is that I want to marry him and he wants to marry me, and that's all that matters.
Of course that's not all that matters. I won't let you two get married. You'll see.
What do you mean? How on earth do you think you're going to stop us from getting married?
Because I'll stop at nothing to make sure that your wedding doesn't happen. It isn't fair. You don't deserve to be happy, and you don't deserve to be in my family. So you can count me out of your wedding. Do you understand? And just how do you think Randy is going to act when he learns that his own sister isn't going to be at his wedding?
Well, I think that you would really upset him if you did that, actually.
That's kind of the whole point, Marie. I am going to show my brother that a woman like you is just going to make him sad. And then every day, he'll start to love you less and less, until your marriage is nothing but a sham. And then he'll have hopefully realized what a mistake he's made being with you, and then he'll finally leave your fat ass.
I don't get it. is all this hate for me really just because I'm a heavier person? I mean, do you just want me to lose weight?
It doesn't matter if you lose weight now, you'll still be a fat person at heart. Nothing you ever do will overcome that.
Hilda, that is a really awful way to view people, I think. But I'm afraid that it isn't going to change the way that I feel about your brother. Anyways, I'm going to tell Randy about what you did to our wedding plans.
Fine, go ahead and tell him. See if I care. I'm going to go and tell him that your wedding is off. I'm going to ask him to leave you and find someone better and more well-suited to him. After all, I have plenty of friends that he can pick from.
And you really think that your brother is just going to go along with all of that?
I think that I'll show my brother the tier of woman he can get with if he wants. And once he realizes how horrible you are in comparison, he'll surely choose to marry someone else. So I wouldn't hold your breath on this wedding happening.
Hilda, are you there? We have seriously got to talk. What is the matter with you? Why would you just send trash to my workplace? That was you again, wasn't it?
What are you talking about this time? Why are you always trying to blame me for all the problems going on in your life?
Are you telling me that this really wasn't you? Because I am seriously thinking of reporting this to the police and they will find out who sent it.
Okay then, go report your little trash problem to the police. Don't waste my time like you're doing now, though.
Now, Hilda, I understand that for whatever reason you really don't seem to like me. But you can't go taking out this weird grudge of yours while I'm at work, okay? It's just unacceptable.
No, you know it's unacceptable, just how unbearable having to deal with you is. Why won't you just leave my brother already? I mean, I heard that you two are legally married now. Did my opposition mean nothing to you? I told you that you two weren't allowed to get married.
And I thought I told you that was something between Randy and I. You don't have a say in whether or not we get married, do you understand? And nothing you say now is going to change anything.
Well, you two better not have your actual wedding, or else there is going to be serious hell to pay. I will make sure that the whole thing comes crashing down around you.
I don't get it, Hilda. I thought that you and I were getting along so well. I really don't know what I did to make you dislike me, but I just wish that we could be adults and talk this out.
Talk this out? I don't ever want to see your face again, let alone talk anything out. I mean, how dare you get married to my brother? No, you and I are never ever going to see each other again.
Are you really sure you want to leave things like this? I mean, I'm sure that Randy would love to talk to you about this as well. I think he's starting to get really confused and upset with you. Don't you at least want to explain yourself to your brother? I mean, I know how close the two of you are and I don't want to ruin that.
Oh, please. If you didn't want to ruin it, then you should have stayed away from him in the first place. Just your existence is ruining what he had together. I knew my brother before you even knew he existed. And yet now you think you can just barge in, marry him, and pretend like it's nothing.
Hilda, is that how you really feel about all of this? Then I really just don't know what to say. But I want you to know that your brother makes me very happy, and I make him happy. And I'm not sure what about that makes you so unhappy.
I don't even care what the two of you do anymore. Just know that I am not going to let you get away with this. And I just want you to know that you're going to look hideous in your wedding dress, and everyone is going to talk about how horrible you look and what an awful couple you are. So enjoy your wedding when everyone is talking behind your back. Hey there, Marie. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry about what happened to your wedding.
Hey, Hilda, sorry. What do you mean by that exactly?
I just mean about your wedding ceremony, you know? I know that my brother said the whole thing was off, right? But you know that my brother isn't even upset about it? He said that if I wasn't going to be at the wedding, then it wasn't one that he should be having. So I guess that means that you've been officially dumped and left all on your own.
No, actually, I'm pretty sure he just told you that so you would keep quiet and stay out of our way. But we've already had our wedding.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Randy told me yesterday that nothing was going to happen. What do you mean that your wedding already happened?
I mean that it literally just happened. We just wrapped it up right now. Randy figured that you would trust whatever he told you, so he came up with that lie so that you wouldn't interfere with us.
But I don't understand. This isn't making any sense to me. How could this be?
Well, it happened because I told him all about how you canceled our wedding venue reservations and kept threatening to do even more if the two of us got married.
So then, you two really already got married? And you did it today? That still doesn't make sense, though. I mean, our parents left to go abroad just a few days ago. Are you telling me that they weren't there either?
No, the wedding was in Italy and your parents are here with us.
But you mean you all went to go to your wedding in Italy and you left me here all alone?
Yep. Not just your parents, though. Plenty of your relatives and mine showed up to help Randy and I celebrate. Of course, I am still upset that we couldn't get the original venue that we wanted, but I'm not about to complain about what we ended up with.
No, this can't be happening. I mean, I thought you had given up on the wedding. I didn't even hear that you made a second reservation for another venue, but now you're telling me it's because you made your plans in Italy?
Yeah. It was a bit last minute, I will admit. And even though I saw so many of our relatives were there, that was basically it. It was a very small ceremony, and there couldn't have been more than a couple dozen people.
So then you two went through with it, and everyone knows about it? Randy, Mom, and Dad all lied to me about the wedding and then left without saying a word to me about it?
That's right. We were all really thinking hard about what to do with you. Then your mom told us about how you went through her phone. Something that you do a lot, I guess? To find out when our wedding was going to be happening. So that's when we realized that he just had to keep our plans absolutely secret. And that's when Randy suggested getting married overseas. So we left no traces of texts and did all of our planning and coordination over the phone.
So you all tricked me. You all went this far just to keep me from knowing about the wedding. I thought we were all family here. This wasn't supposed to happen like this. How could you all do this to me?
I asked you to accept that Randy and I were getting married over and over again. But all you did was return that with threats that you would do something to ruin our wedding. You put me into the position where I felt like I couldn't do anything but lie to you. And all your family agreed that it was the best way to keep you from doing anything that would completely embarrass your brother and I. If you don't like what's happened, I'm afraid that you have no one to blame but yourself.
But I don't get it. Randy told me that you two weren't getting married. My own brother lied to me. I've tried texting him, but he isn't reading any of my messages now.
Well, that's probably because him and your parents have all decided to block you while we're here. We just wanted nothing to do with you after all that you've been putting me through. And quite frankly, I'm really not sure if they're going to want to do anything with you when we get back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have my honeymoon to enjoy. After her parents got back from Italy, they talked to Hilda and told her that they were cutting her out of their lives and never wanted to see her again. They also promised Randy and I not to ever tell Hilda a word about us ever again. We even had to find a new house to move into since Hilda found out where we were planning on going. Although that was a search that I started as soon as I learned that Hilda canceled my wedding venue reservations. As for Hilda, she fell into a deep depression after her family basically all turned their backs on her. I guess she just couldn't bring herself to understand why this was her fault. I can only hope for her sake, though, that one day she realizes the mistake she made. And maybe by the time she does that, all of us will finally be ready to let her back into our lives. Thank you for watching! If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey, when you get home today, don't go to your room. That's gonna be my mom and sister's room. What? You're gonna stay in the kitchen from now on. You have to cook anyway, so it's okay, isn't it? I'll get you a sleeping bag later. Hey, hold on a sec. I don't get it. What's up with you all of a sudden? My sister Ella got divorced. Divorced? That's right. She and my mom got kicked out of their house. That's horrible, isn't it? So I decided to take care of them. How long are they going to stay? What do you mean, how long? Well, they're not going to be staying with us forever, are they? It will be easier for them to plan if they make a definite deadline first. And it would save everybody from worrying about all sorts of stuff. What are you talking about? I'm saying my sister and mother are moving with us starting today. That's the deal. Living together? You should be happy about that. Absolutely not. It's already decided. You want poor Ella, who got divorced right after the baby was born, and Mom to go out on the street? Well, I certainly don't want that. But living with us for the rest of their lives? That's not the answer, is it? You're surprisingly heartless, aren't you? I don't think that's the problem here. Anyway, I'm bringing Ella and her baby back here tonight. You'll take care of them. Huh? Especially since Mom is 60 years old, I want you to cook her healthy food. Take her for a walk every morning and help her go places. You need to take complete care of her. No. Wait a minute. I have a job, okay? I'm just talking to you on my lunch break. I don't have time for this. You work from home. You can at least take care of Mom in between things, can't you? I'm already working and doing all the housework. And now I have to take care of my mother-in-law? I mean, we talked about moving in with your mother when we got married. But she was just really mean and too difficult to get along with. Oh yeah, that's right. Because you were such a selfish woman, Mom had no choice but to go to my sister's house. And the result is them getting kicked out of their house. In other words, my sister got divorced because of you. Excuse me? So you, as a way of apologizing, have to do as much as you can to take care of my mother and sister. And of course, don't cut corners on the housework. Especially the cooking. Mom's a picky eater. You've been using your job as an excuse to cut corners and never cook any good food. Take this opportunity to learn to cook for my mother. That means I have to take care of my mother-in-law, do the housework, and work. I won't have any time to rest at all. You'll have to figure that on your own. It's because your lack of experience that you can't make time. Don't you realize you're talking nonsense? Anyway, I'm bringing Ella and the baby home, so get everything ready. Hello, Dawn. Did you hear from my brother? Yes, I did. I heard from Andrew that you're planning to live in our house. You and your mother are moving in today, right? No, I think he may have said something about living together. But rest assured, I don't intend to be that much of a burden on you. Oh, is that right? But I heard that you got divorced and got kicked out of your house, so you have nowhere to go. I guess I need to explain my situation first, right? Where do I begin? My husband and I are divorced, and it's temporary. Huh? You know that we and my mother were living together, don't you, Dawn? Yes, I do. After your father passed away, your mother was left alone, and you were worried about her. I heard that's what you said. That's a lie. What? The truth is, neither my husband nor I had any intention of living with my mother. I heard that when you married my brother, that she was abusive to you. Yes. It's the same with my husband. Before we got married, my mother checked out my husband's income, his co-workers, his boss, the company, and so on. She insisted that I should stop being with such an unworthy man. But I overcame her objections and joined my husband, and we were very happy. But my mother came to our house and stayed there. Oh no. I told her to leave, but she wouldn't listen. My husband, who is also a kind man, started to say that he felt bad about kicking her out. So she moved in with us. Wow, that must have been hard. And that was the beginning of my hellish life. Every day, my mother calculated in detail when my husband came home, how much money he made, and how much overtime he worked. She yelled at him when he didn't make enough money and cursed him for not being able to leave her daughter with a more capable man. It's unpleasant just thinking about those days. Even my kind husband became exhausted and decided that it was all just too much. So I talked with my husband, and we decided to temporarily divorce to deceive my mother. We planned to move far away together and secretly remarry in a new place. So that's what it was. I was going to have my mother live alone from now on. But I didn't expect that my brother would help my mother and let her live with us. I'm sorry for getting you into this. Don't apologize. I didn't think my husband would insist on having my mother-in-law live with us either. Because I've refused to let her live with us before. He didn't listen to me at all. So it's not your fault. Thank you. But why does Andrew want you to live with us? It seems like your and Andrew's stories are basically different. About that, my brother seems to think that I'm a housewife who didn't make enough money and got divorced and lost her way. He's also mad at me for the divorce, saying that my husband kicked me and my mother out of the house. He wants to help me and my mother, so he says he'll let us live with him. But the truth is, you were a stay-at-home mom, right? You guys can't get married again right away. What are you going to do until then? My husband is giving me money to live on for the time being. So I was thinking of hiding out somewhere and living alone, but if my mother is going to live there, I can't just run away. Can I move in with you and take care of my mother? Of course I will pay for the living expenses. But we don't have enough rooms. We only have one vacant room. I've been kicked out of my room and told to sleep in the kitchen. The kitchen is outrageous. Dawn, go ahead and stay in your room. I don't mind if my mother and I share a room. Your job is working from home, right? I'll keep an eye on my mother so she doesn't disturb you. And I'll do the housework. That would be very helpful. My husband won't listen to anything I have to say. But if you ask me, I can't say no. If a deadline is set, I'm not opposed to you living with us. Let's talk about who's going to do what to make it work. Thank you very much. It really helps. Thank you too. And there's one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. Huh? Would you like to talk again without my brother? Would it be better without him there? Yeah, there's something on my mind, but I think it's going to be kind of hard for you to hear. I think I can guess, but anyway, okay. It's almost time, so I'll go for now. Okay, have a safe trip. Excuse me, Dawn. Are you still at the supermarket? Yeah. I'm about to go check out. Sorry, but can I get you to get me one more thing? What? Mom suddenly said she wanted strawberries. Strawberries? Do you think they sell them this time of year? They might not be in the supermarket. But I called a fruit shop in the mall and asked, and they said they had them there. So I asked them to hold them for me. I'm sorry, but could you please go pick them up? Okay, sure. I'm sorry for my mother's selfishness. I wish I could go with you and help. No problem, I drove. Besides, if I don't buy them, your mother will make a fuss again. I'm so sorry. Don't worry, it's not your fault. Thank you for keeping an eye on my mother-in-law while I was gone. Thank you too. I really appreciate it. Looks like you're fulfilling your role as a wife nicely, huh? Andrew? I heard you bought strawberries for my mother. I'm glad to see you're taking good care of my sister and mother. And you, on the other hand? Ever since my sister-in-law and mother-in-law came to live with us, you've been coming home later and later. Recently, you've been coming home in the morning. Before you know it, you won't be coming home at all. It's not my fault things got so busy at work. Anyway, I have to do it to make up for the extra mouths to feed. Ella is putting in enough money, right? Huh? There's no way she has that kind of money now. If you're going to talk back, think a little better before you say it. Don't complain when you're the one who's being fed in the first place. I work. You gonna say I'm working too? Well, let me tell you that measly salary you're making working from home is nothing to brag about. So, what then? Nothing. Hey, I got the results. How was it? It's all bad. Oh, is that so? How about on your end? My husband is already waiting for me over there. I'm ready to go whenever you want. We should move on this as soon as possible. Well, I have some formalities to take care of, so can you wait until next week? Understood. All right, I'll get busy. Hey, Dawn. Where did you go? You left me signed divorce papers. Do you know what you did? Mom is very upset and furious. I'm the one who's providing for you. You're the one who should be served with a divorce. Now stop this and get the hell back here. Okay, I understand. Then I guess we're divorced after all. What? I said, I see your point. Divorce is the only way. Are you serious? You think you can live without me? Yes, in fact, I can live without you. What? Don't tell me you just noticed the divorce papers. We left that house 3 days ago. That long ago? We? Of course, with your sister. What? She was a housewife right before the divorce. She's even poorer than you, working from home for pennies on the dollar. There's no way she can leave home and live on her own. What are you talking about? Your sister moved in with her husband. Huh? Again, what are you talking about? She was abandoned by the terrible guy. It was you guys who abandoned her. Huh? What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. That's not a reason for you to leave. Well, it's true the situations aren't directly related. We just timed it together. Huh? Timing? I mean, I left a thick envelope next to the divorce papers. You haven't seen it yet? The envelope was there, sure, but... That should easily explain why I left and why I want a divorce. What? What the hell? When did this happen? When did you take these pictures? Can I assume that this is a reply to the contents of the envelope? A report from a detective agency on an investigation. You requested it because you thought I was seeing another woman, didn't you? How long have you known? How long have you been aware of it? About a month before your sister came to our house. What? I mean, your sister knew about your affair too. Huh? Why? Why? You really are clueless about what's going on around you, aren't you? Clueless? What? Did you forget that your sister and I are from the same university, though we were in different grades? Well, come to think of it. Your secret lover, Brenda, was a classmate of your sister, and we were in club activities together too. Huh? She was a notorious presence back then, and it was only a matter of time before we heard about it. Really? Besides, you suddenly moved your divorced sister and mother in to live with us, with the pretense of needing a place to live. That's why you made me take care of them. Oh. You were going to let your mother boss me around all day and make me take care of her. And by putting me through all of that, divert my attention away from you. That way you thought you could cheat all you wanted. Pretty stupid idea if you ask me. No, You rarely came home, so you didn't know about it. With the help of your sister, your mother's bullying was largely contained. Thanks to her, I had enough presence of mind to know about your affair and to request an investigation by a detective agency. Your mother also became quiet after she found out about your affair. Oh no, really? My mother knows about it too? Sis, are you even human? You can't tell Dawn and Mom about my affair. Huh? What? I'm not so low as to take the side of someone who cheated, no matter how much she's a relative of mine, right? What is that? You yourself got divorced by your husband, lost everything and went broke, even though you went through such a hard time. Do you want your brother to go through that painful experience too? What are you talking about? I'm remarrying my husband. What? Haven't you heard from Dawn? My husband and I are divorced, but it was only temporary. Mom forced us to live with her, and then she started bullying him so badly that we decided to get a divorce, trick Mom, and then remarry in a faraway place. Oh, come on. Seriously? You didn't think the divorce was because I was cheating? It wasn't? Don't compare me to someone who's so stupid he got caught cheating. Jeez. Just so you know, I didn't tell anyone my current address as a defense measure against Mom and you. Not even Dawn knows where I live. What? Why would you take precautions? Because I'm cutting all ties with you. Cutting ties? It's too much trouble to explain it all in detail. What's too much trouble? My brother is a scumbag and an idiot. And my mother is a parasite and a bully. I'm going to say bye to such a toxic family for the rest of my life after this message. Oh, come on, sis. Good luck taking care of your monster mother. See you later. Both my mother-in-law and Andrew said I was cheated on because I was not a very attractive wife. Such excuses could not be accepted in court, and a divorce was granted. The alimony was paid in a lump sum from the estate of my deceased father-in-law. My mother-in-law's retirement fund was skimmed. My mother-in-law was getting impatient, cursed Andrew every day, and told him to work harder. Finally, she was kicked out of the house. I have since moved far away and continue to work from home. I make enough money to live on my own and have no problems. I received a postcard from the airport saying that my sister-in-law and her husband had decided to flee overseas for their own safety. I hope they are living happily after that.